Met Jeff Diehl during his campaign against the fake Indian. She is truly awful, but this is Massachusetts, so she snuck in again. Since then, we've become friends. Jeff is out here on the Cape a lot. You hear Jeff. You see Jeff out on the Cape. Jeff, in this campaign he's running now for governor, from what I see, there's a lot of interaction with the grassroots, which is us today, but across the state. So Jeff is hitting it from the grassroots perspective. He believes that's the future of the conservative movement in Massachusetts.
I know.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm sorry. So I'm proud to introduce him today, and I am supporting his campaign on the Cape and Islands. If you want to get involved, just reach out to me, and we'll hook you up on how you can help Jeff be successful. Very important campaign, right? Charlie Baker disrespected us over and over again, going after a Republican president. A lot of us feel the best president in our lifetime. He didn't need to do that. He did that. Disrespectful to us. Now it's payback time. We don't know if Charlie will run, right? But we don't want to give him any oxygen, right? So Jeff's out there early and he's running hard. So please support Jeff as he goes forward. Jeff.
Thank you, Adam. Nice to see you. It's always great to be on the Cape. Good afternoon, everybody. All right, we're going to have a conversation for a second. First of all, housekeeping. Next Sunday, September 26th at 1 p.m. at the State House steps. I know there was a rally just this last week for anti-mandates. We're going to have another anti-mandate rally. Jeff Cooner, you guys know Jeff Cooner, the Cooner Man? We're going to be having Jeff Cooner and myself speaking, and we're going to have quite a few people. If you guys have been there before at the State House, the bulldozer, the Boston bulldozer, you guys know when he had that immigration rally, we couldn't see the end of Beacon Street at all on either end. There were so many people there. When we had a Second Amendment rally, it was the same thing. Of course, the media says a couple hundred people showed up. Yeah, a couple 100,000 it felt like. But anyway, that's this coming Sunday at 1 o'clock. Please be there. We need to make sure our voices are heard because as you know, and as everybody's been talking about, these medical mandates, whether it's masks on our kids that don't need them, or whether it's an injection that my young daughters are concerned about fertility issues. We don't know with these experimental gene therapy drugs they're calling vaccines what the actual effects are. They're rushing it out and they're doing it in a way to put pressure. First, there was a lottery. You're gonna win $1 million if you get the shot. Then you're gonna lose your job if you don't get the shot. What the hell kind of thing is going on in Massachusetts right now? It's amazing. So that leads us to the real discussion I want to have with you today, and that is, do you trust government? I hate to say that because I served in the legislature for 8 years. I was trying to restore trust in government. But you know what? It's hard to make an excuse when you have a governor like we have right now that said he's all about the details, and yet you guys have seen the MBTA. Is that fixed since Charlie Baker took over? I mean, you don't hear about you don't need the MBTA down here, but I'm telling you, there's red line trains that fly off the tracks. There's orange line trains you can't get on the tracks because the Chinese company that's supposed to build them put the wrong wheels on. I mean, it's amazing with the MBTA what's going on. Okay, let's try the registry. You know, for motor vehicles registry. That thing's going right? There was 70 boxes of people who should have had their licenses pulled. One guy killed 7 Marines up in New Hampshire. Should have had his mass license pulled. Oops. Thanks, Charlie Baker. I guess you overlooked that detail, right? The soldiers' home out in Holyoke. How about that? How about the nursing homes that had people put back in with the virus that should never have? Oops. Overlooked that too. We're not able to trust state agencies when you've got a governor that's really not paying attention to what's going on. More focused on what's going on in Washington. And that's a disaster. I mean, Jesse Brown was here and he's talking about what he wants to do. Please get him elected. Because what's happening in Washington, D.C.? Who can you trust down there? We always thought we could trust at least the military. We're going to be hearing from a general who's going to tell you the sad truth of what's going on. And I look forward to hearing that. I'm really excited about hearing that speech because he's someone who is going against the grain, and I was someone going against the grain on Beacon Hill. Look, when you and all everybody, we worked together to repeal that gas tax back in 2014. We saved billions of dollars that weren't needed by Beacon Hill. Do you want to know what my reward was on Beacon Hill for doing that? My Republican minority leader took me off of the most important committee, Ways and Means, as a thank you. And basically told everybody else in the legislature of Republicans, do not do what Jeff Diehl did. You get punished when you do the right thing for the people. I promise you, that's exactly what happened. And obviously when I ran against Elizabeth Warren, did the Mass GOP help me at all? No. Did Charlie Baker come out and give me a big boost? No, during his debate, he said, I'm not sure I'm going to vote for him. You're not sure you're going to vote for me over Elizabeth Warren as a Republican governor? Are you kidding me? But that is the swamp on Beacon Hill, and that's why Rayla Campbell needs to get into Secretary of State, because she, and you know she will, expose everything that's going on about the voter fraud. She's going to start with Elections Division in Boston and work her way across the state to show how our votes aren't being counted correctly, okay? So this is why this 2024 is going to be, 2022 is an incredible election, leading, by the way, to a Republican win in 2024 with the presidency. We're going to take that back. We gave it away. We gave it away to Biden. It was stolen, and we're getting that thing back. Now, again, back to Washington, D.C. real quick. So the military, obviously, we're having real trouble with a general who doesn't want to take accountability for what he said to China, undermining, the American interests there. But we also have the FBI. What are they doing? You got the FBI that fell down on the whole, most recently the young girls with gymnastics doctor. But beyond that, the FBI has been involved in colluding to try to get Trump out. We know all this stuff. It's all out there. It's pretty amazing right now that you cannot trust government in any realm, state, federal, and so that's why local is so important. But obviously with Adam, what he was talking about is true. They're trying to take over the local boards too and make sure that our voices are stomped out everywhere. So I guess I just have a couple questions before I get off the stage. And before I get to those questions, though, I do want to just say again, I know the general is taking time to come out here. This is a general who's earned 2 Purple Hearts, is someone who's served in Afghanistan time and again. He is someone who is incredibly brave in what he's doing. When you stand up and call out the problems and you get 90 other people to sign a letter asking for resignations, you become blackballed by your own, the people you came up the ranks with. And that's not easy. But he's not just done serving. He's retired general, but he's not just done serving. He wants to serve in the U.S. Senate now. And that is incredibly hard. I got to tell you, down in Washington, D.C., it was very hard to get even the folks down there to support my race. We were able to get people like Newt Gingrich to support me. We were able to get Herman Cain, God rest his soul, to come up here to Massachusetts and help. But we couldn't get some of the big Republican names to come. Where was Mitch McConnell trying to help get rid of Elizabeth Warren? The swamp likes to keep things under control, and Republicans that try to change things, they're as much of the problem to some of these establishment Republicans as we are to Democrats. So what the general is doing right now is incredibly brave, running for Senate in New Hampshire. I am excited to hear his message, and I think we should all be supporting him in that race, because what happens in New Hampshire it affects Massachusetts. Those Senate and congressional races, they're voting for the entire country. So he'll be voting for us when he gets down to Washington, D.C. Now, my question to you is just very simple. Are you ready to take back America? Yeah! Are you ready to take back Massachusetts? Yeah! And are you ready to do what it takes to win those races in 22 and 24? Yeah! All right, good enough. Thank you guys very much for having me out here, and God bless you all.